Errol Spence. Terence Crawford's age will play a factor in the ending of this fight. Cap or big facts? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red. But let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, the OG Earl the Truth Spence Jr. had something to say about the age of Terence Bud Crawford. And a few other people chimed in as well and gave their 2 cents on whether the age of Terence Crawford will play a role in this fight. I wanted to give my deuce and break it down for whoever listening.
I was superstitious, but I'm not. After my crash, I didn't have any wheels set up. I didn't have my wheels set up, nothing set up, my truss, nothing. So for like months, we talking about death. My kids get this and that and this percentage, and we talking about, school funds and all that. And for me, like, it made me uneasy talking about it at first. I'm like, in the black community, that's taboo, like, just to be talking about death. Like I told Al, I was like, man, this kind of bugging me out a little bit, keep talking about my death.
All right, y'all. So, Terence Bud Crawford, Terence Crawford's age has really not been mentioned when it comes to this fight. Now, it's funny because a lot of people like to bring up Manny Pacquiao's age when you talk about him fighting again, but nobody's really brought up Terence Crawford's age when it comes to the Errol Spence Jr. super fight. I think Terence Crawford is still at a point in his career where he can be extremely effective. I never felt like Manny Pacquiao's age was playing a role in why he was winning fights or why he was losing fights. The only role I can say it might have played in why he was winning fights was the fact that he has all the experience of being a welterweight, and I can't really say why it was losing him fights, because even in the Udanius Ugas fight, he still looked pretty decent, even though he admitted that his legs didn't feel well. He didn't get knocked down or knocked out or hurt. He just looked slower than himself.
Don't say it, nigga.
Abel Sanchez said that he feels like Terence Crawford doesn't look like himself. He said he looks like a blown up welterweight. It looks like he's holding the weight in his face.
Oh, hold on. Oh. Hello? It's the Lord. Well, that's what I said. Who am I to say? Ooh, I ain't never heard you speak like that, Lord. You have angered the Lord. And now I must say a prayer for you for forgiveness, because the Lord is pissed off.
He said some funny things when he was breaking it down. And he also said that you can see it in Terence Crawford's face. You can see it in the receding hairline. You can see it in the gray hair. You can see it, like I just said, that his face is holding a lot of the weight. It's more like he's trying to eat his way into the welterweight, division, and not that he naturally retains the weight well.
Good afternoon, Billy.
How do you know my name is Billy?
Well, it says it right there on your shirt.
And I thought that was kind of funny, and that could actually bite him in the butt if you think about it, because if your body's not holding the weight well, it means you shouldn't be there, and it's the same thing for you slimming down and not holding the weight well, so it goes the same way for Errol Spence, and I think Errol Spence just realizes that, hey, I don't belong here anymore, my body is reacting to me slimming down, perhaps it's time for me to move on. Now, he has all these titles, so he can't just move on, that's the thing about being a bigger guy in a smaller weight division, or being a smaller guy in a bigger guy's weight division. You should fight where your body is comfortable at.
If you boys can read so good, how come you missed that sign on the door over there?
Oh, we see it now, so bye.
The same thing for Terence Crawford. If he's eating his way into the 147 division, of course it's going to slow him down. And Abel Sanchez also said that he feels like in the Sean Porter fight, Terence Crawford looked like his speed was slowing. And I've said this in the past as well, that he doesn't look the way he did when he first entered the division. Moving around the ring and throwing all the combinations. He definitely doesn't look the way he did at 130, 135 or 140. And I think it has to do with putting on the weight. And the problem with that is Errol Spence is a lot more comfortable where he's at, and that's something that's even admitted by Terence Crawford fans, because they say he's been at 147 for so long. So even though he's not comfortable making the weight anymore, even though he has to do more to shed the pounds, he's been there for so long. It's just like another day at the office for him, to where it might be a little more of Terence Crawford has to force feed himself to make the weight, and that's not good at all.
How about I turn y'all into nigga pie?
Now, how would his speed slowing down affect the fight? Now, it might help him in a way. If he's not moving his feet as much, he can conserve a little bit more energy, throw more combinations. But if he's moving around the ring a lot more and his body isn't holding the weight well, meaning that he had to force feed himself to get to 147, he's going to gas out a whole lot quicker than he normally would.
Time for plan B. You might want to watch out that front window, son. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. Crick stonewalling me. You see what happens? See what happens? Do you see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
I think that, Errol Spence is right. I think Abel Sanchez is right that his age and also his weight could also play a role in him not winning the fight. His age, that goes back to metabolism. So if you're even at the age he's at, not able to, naturally retain the 147 weight, and you're having to eat your way into it, you do have a metabolism, and it could be slowing down. We don't know. He does look like a bulked up welterweight. I won't say he doesn't look the part. He looks like a bulked up welterweight. But once again, if those are dirty carbs, or he's dirty bulking, what they call dirty bulking, then it could come back to bite him in the end.
But there's only one way to settle this: shitties.
But if he's talking about moving beyond 147, I wouldn't be surprised if the 147 weight is not the problem. It's putting on the extra pounds and then trying to come back down to 147. Because when you go past a certain weight, then when you come back down, normally you're burning off all the fat and you're going to have more muscle layers than you normally would. So he might be pushing himself past, 147, 154s, 156, somewhere around there, and then shredding back down to 147 to have more muscle layer. And, that could come back to bite him in the end too, because your body, once again, is not naturally adapted to that, and it could gas you out quicker, So I think the age, the weight, all these things could play a role in why Terence Crawford doesn't win the fight. And I think Errol Spence and Abel Sanchez could be absolutely correct. They could be wrong. It could have the exact effect that Terence Crawford is looking for, that it just bulked him up. He was able to take punches better. He was able to have more snap on his punches, and he ends up winning the fight. But, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the fight and how it plays out.
And when we fight and he knocked my mouthpiece out, the first thing come to my mind is my teeth on the ground. Damn, he done knocked my teeth out. He disappeared. Like, I don't see him anymore. As soon as my mouthpiece came out, you see my mouth like that, like, because I was trying to feel for my teeth to see if it's in my mouth, but I'm looking at the ground to see if my teeth on the ground, because that shit would have been embarrassing as hell. It would have been the first ever. So as soon as he knocked me out, I'm like, oh, crap. And then he just, hit me. When he hit me, I fell into the ropes, but I did like that, and then it's in, so I just smiled. I'm like, okay, it's in now.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me, share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, that Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. you want to collabo, feature a product or your channel on my channel, hit my Gmail because it is a flock of cards at Gmail. And that, yeah, and we are man.
Walk in the club and I feel like a star. Hit the restroom first before I go to the bar. About to roll up, I'ma need a cigar. $2 for a blunt, who you think that you are? Rushing in the club, left a box in the car. About to roll up some shit you gotta keep in a jar. Stinking up the club so you know that it's fire. I start to get the feeling that they know who we are. All eyes on me, K-E-Y-Z. The main attraction, the lanes I'm taxing. I piss on your W2. In other words, I ain't fucking with you. G's, Max, freaks, rats. See me in the back, freak in the black. When you get done with some lean on that. G's, Max, freaks, rats. See me in the back, freak in the black. When you get done with some lean on that. Shorty got that front, back, side to side. Let me see you working like a 9 to 5. What you gon' do when it's time to ride? Clock is ticking, time to decide. I provide a hot flow for you to vibe to. Gotta move your feet, you can feel it inside you. Don't know what to do, let the music guide you. So fly, so high, bitch, I got a bird's eye view. Louisville tycoon, real nigga times 2, and I'm through. I'm through. And this is for the G's, Max, freaks, rats. See me in the back, freak in the black. When you get done with some lean on that. G's, Max, freaks, rats. See me in the back, freak in the black. When you get done with some lean on that.